behalf of the Karnataka State Cricket Association, like to extend a warm welcome to Roger Binny, not our president, BCCI president. There has been a lot of requests from the friends from the media to have a press interaction with the new president of the BCCI. So I think he was supposed to have come today, he came yesterday. Otherwise we would have had it. If we had known earlier, if he was coming yesterday, we could have had this press meet yesterday itself. So Roger Binny immediately agreed for the request of the Karnataka State Cricket Association to have this interaction with the media from the press. I request our Vice President Abhiram to please hand over a bouquet to Roger Binny, the new president of the BCCI, welcoming him. Thank you, Abhiram. So before our new president of BCCI takes over the interaction with the media, I request our secretary Santosh Menon to speak a few words so that we can start the interaction with the new president.
Good evening to all of you. Nothing much for me to say. It's all his day. So I think all of you are waiting to hear him and not me. So it will be very wrong on my part to start talking. So anyway, thanks for coming. And as you all know, it's indeed a very, very, very momentous day for all of us at the KSCA. We are indeed proud of the fact that one of our boys who started his career here is today got elevated to the most important post in the country. So it's a fantastic day for all of us. I'm sure all of you share the same sentiment as we do. So we are very happy for the fact that he's become the BCCI president after, say, 5 decades after Chinnaswamy, and all over to him. He should be the hero. He has been our hero during our younger days. He continues to be our hero, and he's the hero of the day today, I suppose. So we leave it to him.
I request the press to have your questions connected to the BCCI. And also when we were there with Roger, when he got immediately elected as the president of the BCCI, we got to know the only other person who made president was Mr. Chinnaswamy. And incidentally, Roger did his debut when Chinnaswamy was the president of the board. So that was a great momentous occasion. And it's over to you, Roger. You can have your opening remarks, then they can have interaction with
you. I think I'm old enough to sit and talk now. Well, I can't tell you how happy me and my family, and very proud that me becoming the president of the Board of Control for Cricket in India. Not in my wildest dreams that I would have thought, or nor did I dream of becoming the president of the Board of Control for Cricket in India. Because the Karnataka's been my home. I'm so proud to have represented Karnataka, because as a schoolboy, I always, my goals were to play for schools first, then to play for the state team. We had state juniors before that, in the state team, represent the South Zone, and then for the country. So those were my goals, and I was very pleased and happy that I achieved them. And I thought that would be the end of my cricket career. But now, I happily joined the cricketers in 1998, where we got together and we started a movement to get more cricketers into the associations. Because I think that a cricketer understands cricket better. He would understand what a cricketer needs, what is needed to run cricket. A cricketer's input is always much greater than the person who's not played the game. So it's always useful and a must to have a cricketer to be part of the setup. And luckily we came into the KSCA, and from then, from 98 till now, KSCA has really bloomed. We are the most talked about association in the BCCI. Yes, everybody talks about the KSCA for its infrastructure, for its the way things are organized, for the way everything is conducted. You know, our matches, the way we treat players. And that's been the hallmark of Karnataka cricket, and we were able to produce some superstars. You know, in the past, like our great spinners in Prasanna and Chandrasekhar, and our great batsmen in Vishwanath and that era, Kirmani as the wicketkeeper. Then we had Javagil Srinath and Anil Kumble, the next group of cricketers that came through. And then we had Rahul Dravid, one of the world's best batsmen at that point of time. So we were able to produce. Even now, we're still producing cricketers. So that's because I think Karnataka's done a lot of hard work. We've put in a lot of effort and tried to make the players as comfortable as they can on the field, off the field. And we are very happy to see that things have gone very well. And I'm very, very happy to get this post because I've connected with people from 1968. My class of 1968 are sending me photographs. So we all can't make each other out in 1968, but that's how it is. I've connected with so many people. Even today, I see there's so many of people. The people. When I started my career, I played with Murli was there. Murli and myself played the league cricket together. Anybody else who played with me? The 70s? Shabir Tarapo played with me in school. Yeah, we played in the same school team in 1973. John Abiram, on my left-hand side, was my teammate in school. We played Ranji Trophy together, and we had some of the best times on the cricket field. Anybody else decide I've missed out? Yeah. So it's been a real pleasure. I mean, for me, I can't ask for anything more in life. I had a wonderful time playing cricket, and I cherished every moment. I now look forward to my new innings, and I promise you, and I will do my best to see the cricket, not only in Karnataka but in India, does a good job, and it lifts the game up to the levels which we need to. I would be wrong if I don't mention a few people who were involved with me in the games, especially my captain, my mentor, the one who changed everything at the KSCA, Brijesh Patel. I mean, I think most of us in this room would know what sort of player Brijesh Patel was, because the younger generation doesn't know really what he achieved in cricket. I mean, Brijesh was a superb cricketer. I mean, he was international. I mean, he was one of the best fielders of his time. I mean, he was something really good, but also into administration. I mean, he's the one who changed everything. He knew, he had such vision. That's why we have such good stadiums. We are able to produce such good players. And he's done a lot for cricket, a lot for cricketers, which everybody is grateful for. So we are really going to miss Brijesh also, because he leaves now. He's come up to the 70, which I'll do very soon. So both of us will be off the thing. But I'm sure that he will always be involved in cricket in Karnataka. I will also be involved. I will always keep Karnataka in my heart. And I thank you all for all the support, for all that you've done, all the kind words that you said about me, and all the good things my friends from the press. I thank you very much. And I'm there to support the game and enjoy cricket, enjoy myself. Thank you. Anybody has any questions? Yeah. You want a mic? You can give them a mic if you want. Because I can't hear you sometimes.
Good evening, sir. I'm Sydney from Deccan Herald. So you have 3 years in your tenure. So what are the plans that you have as a player president for the next 3 years at the BCCI? And BCCI is at its richest point now with over 9,000 crores in its kitty. So what are the plans, major plans?
Well, like I've already mentioned once, I think we have to get down to the fact of to see how and why players are getting injured so badly. You see that's been not only now the last 4 to 5 years. You know, the people, a lot of cricketers have been they. It's not that they don't have enough of trainers or coaches or someone to assist them, but why should they be breaking down so easily? Whether the load is too much, whether they're playing too many formats. So we have to find out something to be done. So that is my priority, to see that. In fact, it's not mine; it's the whole cricket board. This was the main topic that they spoke about, but players being unfit. You can't have a Bumrah, break down 10 days before an international event. Who's going to replace them? You'll be struggling to fill that gap up. So that's hurting the team a lot. So we need to look at that area. That's one very important area. The infrastructure also we're looking at. I think for the spectators need to have much better facilities. Because we have some lovely grounds but when you have 30,000-40,000 people inside, they need to be comfortable. That's important. So they're looking at doing that, looking after that one. And the pitches in around the country, they're still too docile. They're unfit for the fast bowlers. If our team goes to England and to Australia, it takes us 2 weeks to a month just to settle into the bounce, to the movement of the ball, which we should be doing over here before we go to England, Australia. So that's another area that we need to look into. Very important. And the other systems are in place. The coaching systems are in place. We have a lot of coach education. We have a lot of courses for the coaching camps for the boys who come through the system. So that's all in place. It's basically, I think, these three areas which are very, very important. No, I think we pick 4 selectors from different zones. So those 4 selectors and they're all capable people. They've all played for the country. They know exactly what is required. So it's important to let the selectors do their jobs. But if we are going to interfere with the selection, if anybody is going to interfere, that's not going to be good for the players. So since we've made them selectors, we've given that responsibility, I think we've got to leave it to the selector to pick the sides.
Hi, sir. Yeah. So my question is, India did not travel to Pakistan for Asia Cup. So what's your take on that?
That is not the BCCI's call. See, we can't say where India goes. Whatever was done, if we leave the country or teams come into the country, we have to get clearance from the government. So once the government gives us the clearance, then we go ahead. We can't take a decision on our own. We have to rely from the government.
Hello, sir. Afzal from ESPN Cricket Info. My question is that are domestic player contracts on your agenda, and what all other items regarding the welfare of the players are on your agenda for the next 3 years?
Well, I think the domestic players with the Ranji Trophy players they're looked after pretty well. You see, they're taken care of. I mean, they have good facilities. They stay in good places. So I don't think there's any need for that at the moment. I think what is needed is to lift the standard of Ranji Trophy. See, the Ranji Trophy is the premier tournament in the country. So if you're going to have some of the players don't have interest in playing it. So that is what we got to see to try and lift it up. Along with the Ranji Trophy, you have the Dilip Trophy, you have the Irani Cup, where there's how many people knew that a Rani Cup was played a month back, and how many people watched it? So we have a culture. Our cricketing fans don't support the game. The game is supported by the franchises and the sponsors. So that's what we need to change. And And I don't think there's anything much to be, tinkered with around in the cricketing circles. I think the payments have been doing well. It's probably the cricketers who have played a few matches. Like Karnataka takes care of cricketers who have played 1 or 2 matches, they get a pension. But around the country, they get it. So we'll probably look to see that those people get a little bit of stipend to help them out in their day-to-day chores.
So, John and John from Sports 18. So, sir, my question is, how do you plan on launching the upcoming women's IPL?
Well, it's surprisingly it's very, very popular. Not as popular as the men's, but it's going to get very popular because the game has really taken giant strides now. In the last 2-3 years, you see the Australian teams, you see the English team, you see our Indian team, what the batsmen that have come out of it. So there's definitely going to be a lot of people wanting to look at the IPL. I hope we get a lot of people coming to the games. It's going to be televised live. But I think it's another feather in the cap for the BCCI to organize that event.
Yeah, compared to KSCA, few state boards are a bit weak in their organization and financial condition. How you are going to take it, sir, further?
Well, see, the board has different slots for development. Okay, now Karnataka, the test centers, Karnataka and Mumbai and Tamil Nadu, they have a lot more cricket than what's happening with the second string. So I think once your cricket improves and develops, automatically your funding also will improve. So they're not going to be left back. See, in the past there were teams like so many teams didn't have a ground. But now they've got such good facilities. So everybody is getting a chance. There's a lot of funding going on for cricket and to help the game to take off.
Taking forward this Asia Cup, coming back on India and Pakistan, of course, it is a prerogative of the central government. But have you approached the government, to at least allow the team to fly to Pakistan?
So you said it again, I don't hear. Last question. Okay, no, we haven't done that. Because see what happened exactly now when India's turn to host the Asia Cup, they gave it to the UAE to host. You see, so that's what India, probably the BCCI wants to do. They want the Asia Cup to be played in a neutral venue. You see, but we have not approached anybody in that time.
Roger, you're somebody who's advocated red ball cricket. Would you see that percolating into women's cricket as well? Because India doesn't play as many test matches in women's cricket.
Well, if you see the last 5 years, there's been a lot more cricket happening in the women's cricket also. The one days, the World Cups, the T20s. There's quite a bit happening. So it will definitely change. There will be a lot more movement. Because like I said, women's cricket has become immensely popular. And so that's definitely going to change things, yeah. You will get more.
So the NCA, which is right here, it was initially set up to cultivate the next crop of talent. But over the last few years, you've known that it's ended up becoming more of a rehab center. All the injured players end up coming here, and that also has not gone really well. A lot of ugly episodes have come out. So what are the plans for NCA? Like, do you intend to recreate it back to that, conveyor belt for talent, or what's the plan there?
See, the only issue we have here is, if you see the NCA is only free in the holiday period. When the kids are they finish the exams, a lot of them come here to go through the coaching of a year. So it's difficult to get them throughout the year. So because they've got to study. The parents are not going to let them come here and play cricket the whole time. So we have to actually rethink that over the next 3 years. there are a lot of ideas put inside by former cricketers to try and develop the zonal academies. Like instead of them coming to the NCA, they can work in the zonal academies in their home states. That will give them a chance to study and play the game. So that's another topic which we've been talking. So, but the NCA is still your best area for development. Is going to be state of the art when it moves to the new one. So the boys will have to come down here sometimes. Probably the under-19s, the international teams have to come here and practice in these facilities.
Sir, you had mentioned pitch quality and optimizing pitch across the country. Over the last 6 months, we have seen a lot of matches post the pandemic in fairly smaller cities, and a lot of people turned up to witness those matches. How challenging is it to ensure pitch quality in let's say B or C class cities?
Well, nowadays the BCCI has a curator, national curators for all the grounds. Every ground has a curator put inside, and we have a chief curator. I think there are 2 assistants with them, isn't it? There are 4 assistants who work with the chief curator. So there's pitches wise, there's enough input into it. We have enough people to take care of it.
And you do believe that franchise cricket will drive and make inroads into smaller cities as well?
Definitely it will. It will. See, because if you see now, they're still playing some, the IPL still plays in the smaller cities too. Like they play in Saurashtra, and they've played, where is the other ones they played in? Ranchi, so Raipur. So they will definitely, probably in a few years down the line, you'll find them playing in Hubli and Belgaum. You know, the RCB, Mysore. They're all international facilities. You know, so that's definitely going to happen, because nowadays there's no shortage of good grounds. You can't say that Saurav has not done much. You know, Saurav's status itself. You know, you see him at every match. He's over there. You see him walking to the pitch, trying to talk with the umpires, with the match referee, and so you can't say that he didn't do much. But his presence in the grounds and mingling with the public and the cricketers. I mean, it's a big boost for them. This is what his job is. You know, even my job is to always check and see the inner workings of the ground, the groundsmen, the curators, the people who run the show. They're the ones who need to be addressed, and that's what he did, Ganguly.